And so I am in favor of Senate Bill 959 because I believe not that this is issue homosexual versus heterosexual, but I believe, in my experience, and also research supports this, that married heterosexual couples are able to provide the best chance, again, not a guarantee, but the best chance of healthy, successful children.
Mr. McKay, will you accept some questions?
Sure.
Ms. Webb, you're recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. McKay. Before I ask my question, I'd like a clarification. When you referred to the type of research you were quoting, you called it a special name. I wasn't familiar. Could you just clarify that for me?
Self-report, and that is basically a questionnaire or a survey that's confidential.
Okay. Okay, thank you. My question is, are you familiar with the American Academy of Family Physicians?
Yes.
The American Academy of Pediatrics?
Yes.
The American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry?
Yes.
The American Bar Association? The American Medical Association? The American Psychiatric Association? The American Psychological Association? The American Psychoanalytic Association? The Child Welfare League of America? The National Adoption Center?
Yes.
Can you tell me anything about the research over the last few decades that all of those organizations have conducted about adoption or foster care by gay and lesbian people?
Yes, that's a long list. The first point I want to make is that when you read the articles or writings of those members of those associations, this is not a unanimous decision to endorse homosexual adopting children. It's a very divisive issue. And if you talk with those individuals or read their articles concerning this issue, is that their opinion is that these rulings are not in the best interest of the children, but motivated by political pressure. And that'd be my answer for that.
Mr. McKay, I'm reading from the Child Welfare League of America that says overall results of research suggest that the development, adjustment, and well-being of children with lesbian and gay parents do not differ markedly from that of children with heterosexual parents.
Okay. What I find with my research is not my individual research, but my studying these studies is that it's really difficult to find an unbiased opinion on either side, whether you're for homosexual adoption or whether you're against homosexual adoption. It's very biased. And so what I have to do is I have to keep things simple. As a marriage and family counselor, what produces healthy children? And I don't believe there's any arguing that homosexual and non-married heterosexuals have these struggles at a much higher level than married heterosexuals do. So again, I'm not a policymaker or a lawmaker, but when I'm looking at this issue, I want to choose the best possibility for these children to be raised in healthy and successful environments.
Thank you, Mr. McKay.
Mr. Harrelson, you recognize for a question.
Thank you. I think we're spending an inordinate amount of time on homosexual adoption and foster parents here when the bill actually also addresses unmarried cohabiting people.
Correct.
Let me address that because it says the definition of a cohabiting couple means that you're residing with another person and being involved in a sexual relationship. Can you tell me how we're supposed to determine how someone's involved in a sexual relationship?
I'm really not able to. I'm not really able to answer those kind of questions. My job is more to give the statistics and research and my experience concerning families.
This is a concern that I have with the bill in its current form. Would you be supportive of an amendment that would remove that language that says that cohabiting means you're simply residing with another person?
Ask your question again. I'm sorry.
I'm asking whether you would be supportive or not of an amendment that would remove the language involved in a sexual relationship.
I guess my definition of a cohabitating couple is one that is living together as married. So that would include sexual, that would include sharing finances, and that would include a lot of criteria.
Okay. I'm trying to intertwine this with Representative Power's questioning earlier because we're going back to these little check boxes and the paragraphs that we're going to have to put in the petition here. if a cohabiting couple is residing with another person and they admit or state under oath that they are not involved in a sexual relationship, is that okay with you?
Again, as far as enforcement of this law goes, I really don't have an opinion on that. That's not what I specialize in.
Okay. Next, there are exceptions for cohabiting couples for a sibling, a step-parent, or a grandparent. So you can be cohabiting and involved in a sexual relationship with someone else if you're unmarried and still become a foster parent or an adoptive parent if you are blood related. Is that okay with you?
If you're blood related, I think that's, again, that'd be something to ask the senator. I'm not quite sure what the...
Well, okay, you're here today testifying that you believe that it's not healthy for children to be in homes where there is a homosexual present or where there are cohabiting unmarried couples.
As parents, yes.
Right, and I'm asking you, is it okay then that if they're blood related and unmarried cohabiting couples?
So they're living in the home as a parental figure?
Exactly. And they are the sibling.
I guess I'm just confused with what you're asking me.
Let me see if I can make this any clearer. You're telling us today that you believe it's unhealthy for a child to be placed in an adoptive home or in a home with a foster home where the person is either homosexual, the parenting figure is either homosexual,
Couple, yes.
or they are, no, I'm not saying a couple, I'm saying a single person
Okay.
is homosexual.
Okay.
Or whether there is an unmarried cohabiting couple. Is that your testimony here today?
Okay. I think I understand your question. Are you bringing up the single parent?
I'm going to get to that next. Right now I'm on cohabiting couples.
Okay.
Okay.
So, if I understand your question correctly, if a couple is unmarried, cohabiting together, I would say that brings up extra stress for these child that are at risk, yes.
Right. But is it okay with you if that person is related to the person giving the child up for adoption or in the foster home?
Okay. So a family member, I guess my opinion would be I would much rather a child go to a family member, heterosexual or homosexual, than go into the foster care system or group homes or something like that. So yes.
Okay. Now, my next question is it okay with you if a child is placed in an adoptive home or a foster home with a unmarried cohabiting couple, so long as that cohabiting couple says that they're not involved sexually?
I guess my experience with couples that are living together, I guess I would have to ask more questions regarding their relationship. My experience of couples that are living together as dating or as married, rarely is it not a sexual relationship, and it's not just sexual, it's shared finances, it's shared decision making, it's the whole relationship.
Thank you, and that's exactly the point I want to make, because this bill makes an exception for a cohabiting unmarried couple to adopt or be foster parents so long as they say that they're not involved in a sexual relationship.
Okay.
And I have a problem with that.
Okay.
My next question is regarding homosexuals. You've talked about promiscuity, you've talked about homosexual couples. I think a lot of the people here in the audience have the thought that what DHS is going to do is go place a child in a party where they're in a home where there are wild parties and drugs and sex in front of the kids.
Right.
I want to ask you a question about a homosexual single person who may be celibate. Do you think that that still provides an unhealthy environment for a child?
As far as research goes, like I said earlier, that homosexuals have much higher rates of psychological problems, of depression, anxiety, those kind of things. And so when you're looking for a home that will provide the best opportunity for a child, that would be a concern of mine.
All right, let's take away the statistics for a little bit, because what we're doing here, if this bill passes, we're tying the hands of DHS to where they cannot place a child in an adoptive or foster home regardless of the stability of the person if they are a homosexual. If that person is a 60-year-old celibate homosexual without a partner, you're telling me that that would not be a healthy environment for that child. Is that your testimony?
You're talking about specific examples. I guess I'd have to, again, I'm not a lawmaker, I'd have to take that on a case-by-case basis.